Hi everyone. Today we're going to be looking at the Roman R6000 Bluetooth / charger unit. I thought it was pretty cool looking, and they asked me to review it, so I'm going to take a quick look at it and see if it's any good or not. Let's see here. Take a look at the back. Parameters, real easy. Standby time. It says it's got 50 hours of standby time. If you want to play music through the little earbud, 2.5 hours. It says it only has a 35 milliamp hour battery capacity in it, so that's going to be kind of interesting. Talk time about 3 hours, and charging time about 2 hours, which is about right for any lithium battery. It says it's Bluetooth version 4.0, range 10 meters, which is 30 feet. That's regular Bluetooth. Everything else is basically normal. Weight 34 grams, so it weighs practically nothing. Now that's probably just the Bluetooth unit itself, not the actual charger, just a little tiny piece that goes in your ear. So it's really light. Car charger input 12 volt or 24 volts. The only thing I've ever seen that actually has 24 volts is like a deuce and a half or something like that, but they always make it available, so it's good for a car. And it says the charging port says it's 5 volts at 2.1 amps. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to test with 2.1 amps. All I have is my S5 phone, which pulls 1 amp, which will at least test that and make sure you're at least getting an amp out of it, which I would guess at the time of making this video, at least 80% of people's phones pull an amp. So I'll at least give it a little bit of a test. So let's look inside the box. There goes the top. And let's see here, we got the charging unit and the little tiny thing itself. It's really small. I mean, I don't have that big of a hand, but, and you can see there's little 4 charging ports right there, or tabs. And yeah, this thing weighs practically next to nothing. So, and okay, there's the other 4 tabs right there that it charges from. And there's your charging port right there, your USB charging port. And it plugs right into a cigarette lighter. So I guess this just plugs in there, aligned correctly. It's really clipped in there. It's not going to fall out, so that's good for when you're hitting bumps in your car. So it's definitely not going to fall out. Try to put it in the cigarette lighter. Actually, let's try to put it in this one. You'll probably see it better. Okay, it's got a little red light. It says it's got power, and I assume it's charging right now. I got a micro USB cable, and I also have my little USB voltage tester, so this way we can make sure we're probably getting an amp out of it. And let's see what the power is on it. Okay, I'll have to flip the unit over so I can see what's going on. Flip the screen, this way I can read it. And the voltage is a little low with no load on it right now. It's about 4.9 volts. Let's see what happens when I plug my phone in. So here's that. And here's my phone. I'll line it up correctly. Okay. Junk mail. It's charging, and my battery is pretty low. It's at 35% right now. Loaded down, it's putting out 4.9 volts, and I am getting 0.97 amps. I'm getting 1 amp of power out of it. So it is at least rated for 1 amp. I really don't know if it can handle 2.1. because the voltage might sag and you might not get it. You would figure normally no load, you usually see like just over 5 volts on this, so it is running a little low. It might be perfectly fine, so I'm not sure, but at least on 1 amp, yeah, it'll definitely charge a regular S5 or an iPhone 5 or anything like that that usually pulls 1 amp while charging, so that's good. Now underneath the white little piece of plastic here, you got another little box, and inside that box, if I can get it open, there's a little instruction manual, an extra earpiece, the little rubber piece that actually goes in your ear canal. It's got an extra piece of that, and there's some little tiny piece of paper in here. Certificate, quality control pass, number 008. Give me a second to read through the manual and we'll see how we pair this thing up with the cell phone. Okay, to pair it, there's only one button on this unit. A little tiny black button right there. Hopefully you can see it in the reflection. Otherwise, there's no other buttons, and apparently this has a little LED display. So you hold it for 1 second, and it'll say power on. Power on. And it automatically goes into pairing mode, where it's going red and green, red and blue like this. And it shows up on your screen. Hopefully I can do this right. R6000. So it's trying to pair with it. And it automatically connects. You don't have to do any of that 0000 password, and it's connected to phone and media audio. So now in standby mode, it just blinks this nice little blue light once every, I guess, what, 5 seconds or so? It just blinked. Yeah, about 5 seconds. But once every 5 seconds, it blinks a little blue on it. So it just tells you it's paired, it's ready. Volume control is definitely through your phone itself. There is, like I said, there's only one button. If you hold it down for, I think it's like 5 or 6 seconds, it will actually tell you power off and it will shut off. But basically, when it's plugged in, you can see this unit now is blinking blue and red, saying it's not finding this device. So I plug it in, and now it's charging again, especially if I flip it around. And let's see here. Apparently it shuts the unit off when you put it in there. Okay, so when you put the unit back into its charger, it automatically turns off. You're disconnected. So let's see what happens when you pull it off. Automatically turns on. It goes through pairing, and there, connected to phone audio, connected to phone and media audio. So it's really quick. If I plug it back in again, it disconnects. Okay, it completely disconnects. Connecting the phone audio, connecting the phone and media audio. Yeah, it's really quick. The best way I found to actually put it in your ear, since you really don't need the button when it's in there, you control everything from your phone, is have the button go into the back of your ear, and then having the 4 prongs and the microphone right above it facing towards you. And it seems to sit in there fairly well. And once it's connected to your phone, it actually says connected in there. So it says powered on, powered off, connected, disconnected. Gives you all the little audio prompts inside of it. So once it's on, I'm going to try doing music with it and see what it sounds like. Because I can't actually play the music on YouTube without going through crazy copyright stuff. So. Holy crap, that's loud. See what the bass is, just out of curiosity, because it is a really small unit. You're gonna have to take my word for it, but there's actually a fair amount of bass out of this little tiny thing. I'm surprised. I definitely wouldn't listen to it at full volume. It is actually fairly loud. It has bass, but it's almost like someone pre-programmed the sound in the unit itself to have an EQ curve that kicks up the bass and kicks up the treble a lot and cuts down the mids, which is how I usually do an equalizer, but it does have a lot of high frequency amplification in it. Surprisingly, it actually has really good sound. I'm impressed, especially for a $25 unit. So for $25, you get to be able to charge your cell phone and have a little backup Bluetooth. It's not a half bad little thing. I actually like it. It's pretty cool. And I don't like Bluetooth units usually. I don't like having things stuck in my ear because I have really small ear canals. So it's kind of hard, even with earbuds, for me to listen to them. But this one, it's a little smaller than a regular earbud, and it actually fits in there fairly well. I guess if you have really big ear canals, I'm not a medical person, I wouldn't know. It might be a little harder to keep it in your ear, but for normal to smaller size, once you get it in there, it's actually really comfortable. It's not bad. So the triangle shape actually does work well in your ear. So if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them down below.